Alright, hello and welcome back to Our Life Beginning and Always. I thought we would head again to the next moment. I think we're into DLCs, I'm not sure. I will have to see where we are. Yes, we're on to the DLCs, so I figured we'll jump right into it. Super excited to be back doing this. For me, I've taken a bit of time because I was finishing a book, but that's gonna be a while from now to you, or yeah, for you, because I film ahead of time and then post. If that makes sense. So I took some time in between, but I'm back. Got new setup, new glasses, new hair. We're ready to go. New year, new me. Alright? This is jump into this one and head into our DLCs for stage 2, or for step 2. Alright, so we are on to Mall. So DLC 1 for step 2. Ooh, look at that, surfing stuff. Lee's visit today turned out to be more involved than you expected. After overhearing where the Holden family was going, Lee insisted on seeing Mr. Holden's shop firsthand. Oh, this is Mr. Holden's shop. An hour later, Lee was busy looking at every item on display. Because Cove's dad offered supplies, lessons, and tours, his shop had all the scuba-related stuff you can imagine. Fins, masks, suits, and snorkels. After circling around the shop, he finally stopped and looked at a whole room. This is the first time you've been here. It wasn't often that you tagged along to hang out at the shop. We spent a lot of time here over the years. I'd say we've probably been there before, but since we don't know it much, we'll go in between. You preferred it that way. It meant there was always something new to look at, even if it was just a layout change. You decided to come today. You were in good spirits. This was a pleasant surprise. Felt okay. Not your first choice, but not bad. You were unhappy. Was this really all you were gonna do? Nope. Decided to come today because we haven't seen his store yet. Co was just telling you the other day about the new wetsuits and how the material they were made out of was supposed to be a different blend than usual. This was your best chance to check them out. Lee was still busy poking through the various wetsuits displayed, so you decided to see what Derek and Cove were doing. They were too absorbed in their conversation and noticed you standing near them. Leaning against the counter, you were able to pick up the topic quickly. My dad told me the new stuff is selling like crazy. Yeah, the material has new blend with less neoprene. My dad says people are really interested in it. It brought a smile to your face hearing that the shop was doing well. You decided to keep listening. You decided to join the conversation. You couldn't resist teasing the voice. Oh, decided to keep listening. It was interesting to watch them speak about what they knew. But really, there's just so much to think about with a business. It's crazy. No matter how much I come, I still don't think I get it. Cove hummed and nodded in agreement, causing a good-humored laugh from Derek. I thought you only liked the scuba diving part, not the job part. That's just the best part. I think about other things too.
I gotcha.
Cool. The business side, running it, that's my favorite. At the corner of your eye, you caught movement. You realized that Lee was now standing next to you. When your dad's retired, do you guys think you'll be carrying on the store? Both sons shrugged in unison. There's a lot of things I could do. My dad thinks so too. He doesn't want me to plan on working here forever. Cove's gaze fell to the floor. You could see the conflict flash across his face. It's a lot, being the real boss of something and totally in charge. If my mom's had their own business, I'd take over. If my mom's had one, I wouldn't want to take over either. I can't run a business. I wouldn't want to take over someone else's shop either. I want to do my own thing. Then, do you think your dads would let me take over the shop, no matter what you do? I mean, I'd probably take over a business myself, personally, but I'll keep with the complimenting and doing well. Proud and equal parts happiness and bashfulness, he bounced on his feet a bit. Thanks, Jamie. I'm happy you'll believe in us. Me too. Cove's parents left the back office and came over, catching your attention. Sorry, kids. It looks like it's going to be a long one. I know usually the others hold the fort down, but I really need to stay here today. I know you just wanted a little visit. It'd be boring getting stuck here all day because of me. Kira can take my car and go back to the neighborhood. Cove and Derek gave him an understanding look. Mr. Holden crossed his arms and flashed you all a big smile, trying to lift the mood. The one condition is that someone has to remember to come back for me later. You don't get to strand me here, no matter how funny that might be. Kira laughed and gave a thumbs up. Mr. Holden seemed satisfied with that. He moved on with the explanation. Derek, your dad also has his hands full today, so he doesn't have time to run you back home. That's right, sir. That sir got an awkward chuckle out of Cliff, which was cut short when Kira elbowed him teasingly. You already said I could borrow your car. Why don't I take all the kids somewhere fun for the afternoon? That's fine with me. Just please come back eventually, sometime today, Kira. After most of the jokes about being left with no ride, you had to wonder if that actually happened in the past together. For you, my good sir, I swear. Cross my heart. Happy with the promise, Cliff took out his black wallet and offered a $50 bill to Kira. Here, in case you need gas or something else while you're out. Kira smiled knowingly and accepted the bill without hesitation. Co's dad stuck the wallet in his back pocket while he waved with his free hand. Okay, time for me to jump into work. Have fun for me. Bye, Dad. Bye. Bye, sir. Bye, Mr. Holden. Goodbye, sir and sirs and madams. He left the room with a wink and a flare, disappearing into the employees-only area for the shop. When Mr. Holden was out of sight, Kira silently strolled over to the counter and carefully placed the $50 bill there. She turned back around and beamed a large smile at you and the others. Come on, gang, let's see if this town has a mall. Yes. Unable to contain her excitement, Lee actually jumped with joy, while Cove and Derek just grinned. There wasn't a mall in your hometown, but Mr. Holden's store wasn't in Sunset Bird. It might be possible to find a small mall out here. You felt pumped, felt okay about it. You didn't really want to go, I like going to the mall. I don't mind anything with the mall. Sounds good, sounds fun. I didn't like it as much when I was younger, but now, don't mind it. Heck yeah. Let's go. Heck yeah. She quickly herded the group out of the store and to the car. As a driver, I get to choose my partner in crime. Naturally, I bestow position of shotgun to my baby. Her comment had both Derek and Lee snickering. Cove was for sure embarrassed over the phrasing and blatant favoritism, but he took the seat by his mom without complaint. So I had to stick up for Cove. You decided jokingly complained special treatment. You were fine with that. You kept quiet. I don't think that he needs me to stick up with that. Just, you were fine with that. You got shotgun in your own car a lot. It made sense that you got priority here. I'll take the middle seat. Really? Yeah, I don't want a window seat. You two can have one. Are you cool with that? You thought it was odd that anyone would give up a window seat, but you knew Derek tried to be especially polite when he was a guest. You nodded. Good. Sounds like we're all in agreement. Everyone squeezed into the car and buckled in, and Kira turned the radio on. She set it at the top 40s pop station. You're into it, you did not like it, you asked if the radio station could be changed. I'm into whatever anyone else is into, except overused 80s, 90s, because at the store I work, we have a playlist of 80s and I think it's just 80s or 90s. Anyway, the same songs play over and over every day in the year that I have worked there, and I never want to hear them again, especially outside of work. And my parents will definitely put on like the old classic 80s rock or whatever, and like honestly, I've had enough. Like, I don't get me wrong, I do like classical or like rock, like 80s, 90s. I'm really into Queen and Elton John and different things like that, but certain songs I just can't take anymore. Quickly you realized the song playing. It was a new one by an artist you were listening to a lot recently. Alright. Sorry, mini rant. It wasn't long until your group realized that they were lost, but after driving in enough circles, Kira's struggle paid off when she found a local mall. There was more cheers from Lee as Kira pulled into the parking spot. Ooh, a mall. Once your group had made it inside, the first order of business on this trip was checking what this mall actually had. Where should we go? She's so cute. I think I see a makeup store up ahead. She rolled up on her tiptoes to get a good view. Meanwhile, Derek was eyeing the directory. Oh my god, makeup though, outside of pharmacy, yes, I just get pharmacy makeup, is expensive, alright? Ain't nothing wrong with some good pharmacy makeup. Sometimes they've got some fun things. You go to an actual makeup store, hella expensive. I can't afford that crap, but they are cool to look at. She rolled up on her tiptoes to get a better view. Meanwhile, yeah, actually, there's a chocolate shop. Seriously, we have to go there. Yes, wait. And we need to find a decent jewelry shop. I need new hair ties and barrettes. We've also got to at least look for a game store. There's a ton of things you can't get anywhere but a store that's just video games. Hey, what are you thinking, Cove? I want to look at the fish in the pet store. You could have guessed that much. Yeah. I love a pet store. Damn. Anywhere else? Smile with some bashfulness. Food court. What about you, Jamie? Oh, clothing store, accessory store, makeup store, video game store, chocolate shop, pet store. Oh, I mean, as much as I love bookstore, yeah, art supply store. I'm down for the pet store. Pet store. Oh, and bookstore. For sure. I like the video game store too. Video game store. That's all really interesting. That's certainly a list. Good thing we have all afternoon. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it goes pretty quick once you get into it. I have my own stops I want to make. Let's agree to regroup here at 7 p.m. You're not coming with us? We're all in the same building. You won't be as alone as you think. I'll only be a few minutes away at most. You're old enough to enjoy them all without me hovering. Okay. Be back here at 7. Toodaloo. Leaving Derek and Lee stunned by their newfound freedom, Kara walked off. When she was almost out of sight, Derek's face twisted into confusion. Wow, she's really gone. I can't believe she just did that. Was this the first time I've ever been left alone? Like, my goodness. This is so cool. We get to do whatever we want. You were happy about it, talk about an amazing opportunity, you felt unsure about the situation. Was this really okay? You felt okay with the situation, you weren't happy about it. This is not what you had in mind. You're happy, that's fine. It really is exciting. I enjoyed it go off on my own when I was younger, but now I have to say it's weird. I do enjoy having my mom there and going shopping with her, but it can be nice to just put on some music and just cruise through the mall, going directly for what you need. I'm usually in and out. With the decision already made, Derek tried to pull together his earlier enthusiasm for the trip. Where are we going first? Time's a-wasting. Whatever's closest. Things are coming together, but you realize there might be a flaw in today's sudden plan. What's wrong, Jamie? Did everybody bring money with them? Yep. I did. I always have some on me when I come all the way out here. You had money too, you left your money at home. The original plan was only the business home store. You didn't have any money at all since you always ended up spending it when you got it. I always keep money with me. Immediately you felt better about the situation. You would have been a downer to not be able to think about something at the mall because they didn't have money. I'm good. Now that everything was squared away, you explored the mall together as a group. There are many shops that you managed to venture into so far. You went into the pet store, leaving you with the prep in your step. This was better than you thought, and there was still so much to see. After having hit many of the top priority stores, you found yourself passing by a small booth. It was decorated in wind chimes of various sizes. You raised a hand up to one of the smaller ones. What sparked your attention next was Cove. You thought for sure he was going to stop at the booth by the way he looked at it, but then he kept going. Do you want one? It wasn't until Lee asked that you realized that you had stopped in front of the booth without saying anything. Lee just continued to encourage you. You should get one. I'm just looking. I don't really like them. You wanted one, but someone else did want one. Yeah. We'll go with this one. They got your attention though. It was because you might make a nice gift. Wondered if Lee was planning on becoming a wind chime salesperson since she kept pushing it. I have one like this at home and it makes a pretty good sound. I do like wind chimes though. Did you know you made a decision on what to buy? You got one for yourself and one for Cove. You got one for Cove. Oh, we'll get one for both of us. Brilliant. I love wind chimes and it looked like he was interested, so why not? These two. Now why would you need two wind chimes? Maybe I just like wind chimes, Lee. Maybe you're a good salesperson. She's always coming out. You rolled your eyes at her teasing tone, but you couldn't hide the smile growing on your own face as Lee broke out into a laugh. The shopkeeper carefully wrapped your purchase up and handed it back to you in a bag. You accepted it and then raced off, with Lee to catch up with the boys. For Cove, you had picked out a beautiful wind chime that had a dolphin charm with a simple diamond silver poles, crystal strand, a dolphin because you like fishes. You got a feeling you'd appreciate that, yeah. Well, fishes and whales, whatever. After leaving another clothing store, one that Lee couldn't resist, couldn't resist exploring, you and your friends found yourself walking down the mall hall of the mall again. It wasn't long till everyone you were with had their eye on a smoothie kiosk ahead. Should we stop? It took me forever to realize that a kiosk, like even working in a mall, that a kiosk is basically like those little booths, like if you see in the middle here, like when they have those little booths in the middle that are set up rather than being an actual store, it's called a kiosk, unless I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure that's the case. The more you know, you know? Oh my gosh, I think my throat just dried right up. As you approached, your eyes were drawn to a dizzying list of smoothie combinations, and part of you wondered how long it would take to try them all. Hi there, do you need a rundown of how this works? Yes, please. Okay, first off, you pick the 3 options of fruit or berries. Then I'll add the ice and the store special smoothie base mix, and then you'll have your very own smoothie for $4. It's only one size. That is not a bad deal, my dudes. Cove leaned over the counter. Well, it depends on the size, to be fair. Cove leaned over the counter a bit. For several moments, he intently studied the plentiful fruit and berry option. I want to get strawberry banana smoothie with coconut too. Ooh, good choice. Sounds good. Is anyone else getting something? Can I get one that's just all mango? Of course. I like strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries for mine. Thanks. Shopkeeper looked at you now. You didn't want one? Yeah, we'll get one with everyone else. Could I get... We'll get... bananas for sure. Strawberries. We'll just do a regular banana strawberry. And that, everyone went ahead and paid for their individual drinks. Okay. You waited over at the other side of the booth where the drinks were put when they were done. Derek bounced on his feet, excited for his to be ready. This is gonna be good. Lee chimed in with her own enthusiasm. Everybody says their smoothie-based stuff can make any drink great. And Cove, while quieter, looked just as eager for his smoothie. Luckily, there hadn't been anyone else before you, so it wasn't a long wait. Your group collected the fresh drinks as they were placed on the counter. Straws were placed through the opening at the top of the cup, and the first tentative sips were had. Derek sighed in satisfaction after his taste. Mango is so delicious. Mine is super good too. Cove nodded and hummed in agreement. His straw was still in his mouth. You were happy with your choice, you regretted your choice, thought it was okay, you thought it wasn't as great as you expected. I'm happy with my choice, I usually am. When it comes to this kind of thing, this is perfect. Cool, we all made excellent choices today. Yeah. Yeah, well, no one ended up drunk or high on a storefront, so, you know, good choices today. I'm sorry, I realized there are kids. You asked if you could try Lee's smoothie, you asked if you tried Derek's smoothie, you asked if you tried Cove's smoothie. Sneakily, you wanted to steal a sip of everyone else, so you didn't pay much attention to the other drinks after that. Ooh, see if we can move in on the Cove action. I love how that thing seems to be green like him a lot. At that, I accidentally inhaled as he was drinking. His face was burning red for embarrassment and from the cough that shook him. Dude, are you okay? Derek gave Cove a few pats on the back. He was hacking, was only starting to slip. Bed ended up going down the wrong way. It sucks when that happens. Lee elbowed you teasingly. The moment she got your attention, started laughing and gesturing between you and Cove. Moments later, Cove was finally able to breathe normally. He wiped his mouth with his free hand. His gaze locked on the floor as he nervously started chewing on his straw. You could tell he was torn. He didn't seem to want to say no, but he couldn't bring himself to say yes either. Derek couldn't watch this scene anymore. Drinking his own smoothie, he pretended to be fascinated by the display of stores their group was passing by. Lee hadn't stopped looking over you two. You could tell she was living for every bit of this situation. Cove's unhappy stare went from Lee to Derek, all while still shyly sipping his smoothie. He wondered if he was trying to will him to intervene. Feeling a stare, Derek peeked back towards Cove. The only response he offered was an understanding sigh. You decided to let it go. You teased him, maybe reassured him. We'll let it go. I just wanted to see what would happen. That's okay, Cove. I don't need to try yours. He stared at you, looking conflicted still. A few heartbeats later, the tension eased in his face, and he sighed. No worries, we're cool. Cove nodded, but he couldn't meet your eyes. You were satisfied with that? You wanted to ask someone else to try this really sneakily, you tried. Yeah, we're satisfied. I wonder what doing coconut like he did with his strawberry banana would be like, though. As your group continued to wander the mall, you came to an area in a path that was wider. Ah, I like the little frame with little shells and pearls and stuff. The center mall is a collection of quarter-operated ride-on machines. Derek stopped as soon as he saw them, smiling ear to ear. I want to ride. I think we might be too big. They're always fun. Don't come at me about my size. He eagerly headed over to the machines, wanting to get a better look. Lee went along with it, smiling. He thought his idea was childish. You wanted to ride too. You didn't care one way or the other. Stayed quiet about it. I want to ride too. You quickly chased after Derek. He turned his head back at the sound of your footsteps and gave a thumbs up over his shoulder. Reconvening around Derek, you watched as he focused on the various brightly colored rides. Most were designed to look like real vehicles, but there were also some horse-shaped ones. One of them could even sit 2 people. Lee leaned in close to you and whispered playfully while pointing directly at the soul machine made for Pear. You should ride that one with Cove. Lee's such like either a shit disturber or just gets like enjoys the drama. He's just like, let's go. You agreed she was really onto something there. You rolled your eyes. Disagreed that was too crazy. You felt unsure. You didn't reply to her. I love terrorizing him because he reacts so drastically to everything. Ugh. So we agree. That might be fun. And Lee is living for it. Call a helicopter. Why? It's the coolest and I think it'll move the most. Start digging in his pockets, pulling out whatever money he had left. Wait. Is everything okay? I need 4 quarters, right? Yeah. I only have 2. There has to be more between all of us. Hold on. Pockets, wallets, and purses were checked over. Derek still had 2. Cove had only 1. Lee ended up with the most at 3. You didn't have any. You can have mine. Thanks, but you don't have to. It's not enough for me, and even if it was, it'd be dumb to ride while you had to watch. Cove shrugged. He had tried, failed, and looked unsure of what to do next. Why don't we all get on one ride? Can't we exchange dollar bills for more quarters at the store? You didn't have to. Why don't we all get on one ride? Wouldn't that take 4 quarters though? That doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna see if I can puzzle my way through this. Exchange the dollar bill. Derek slipped a hand to his cheek, eyes wide. Oh yeah, that'll work. Let's do it. The group scattered to various shops around. When you shortly reconvened at the rides, everyone had more than enough quarters. There was no wiping the smile off your face despite the little hiccup initially. The plan to hitch a ride was coming together. Let's get this over with. We have the coins. Cheer up, man. It's gonna be good. Yeah. There was enough machines that everyone claimed one for themselves. Derek got his coveted helicopter. Lee was happy on a horse. Cove waited to choose last. It seemed he didn't want to take a ride someone else wanted when he cared so little about it. You picked a horse too, the one that looked like Melissa on a single-seated car, a double-seated car by yourself. You double-seated car and you brought Cove along. We'll bring him along. Cove, you can sit with me. He gave a bent smile and put a hand on his hip when he saw the ride you pointed out. Do you really want to try and fit me in there? You might actually be comfortable if you use it by yourself. That doesn't matter. I want to ride with you. Alright. Lee linked to the two of you from her pony as you squeezed in next to each other in another child-sized seat. Looks were exchanged across the way and you each popped coins in at the same time. The little ride started to life. As the machine began moving up and down, side to side, Lee and Derek couldn't contain their laughter. Derek started waving from the window of the helicopter, and Lee reached out to see if she could touch anyone as the machine jolted closer to her. Cove, on the other hand, just gripped the side of the car. He was struggling to remain in the seat, looking very uncomfortable. You were quickly regretting your decision to do this. You waved back. You stretched over to grab Lee's hand, tried to encourage Cove, and personally said you quietly enjoyed your ride. We'll grab Lee's hand. Grinning, you leaned forward and reached as far as you could. For a moment, a shot of panic went through you as you thought you were able to tumble from your ride, but you hung with your free hand and balanced yourself. Be careful! I'm trying. Your rides were synced up in movement, almost there. Your efforts were rewarded when you caught hold of her hand. We did it! Yay. It was a battle to keep together as the rides went backwards. The two of you kept almost accidentally pulled out of your seats by the other, but that made it more fun. Soon all the rides came to a stop and the group dismounted. Derek looked absolutely pleased at the conclusion of the pit stop. Then you noticed something at the corner eye. You tilted your head and looked directly at it, and you burst into laughter. What's funny? You turned back to your group and nodded in the direction of where you were looking. Isn't that one of those machines that takes dollars and gives quarters back, the kind that exists for people who don't have quarters on hand?
Oh shit. Cool.
Yeah, it's cool, huh?
I like that.
Thank you. Everyone's heads moved that way and saw that you were right. Derek chuckled awkwardly. That's exactly what this is. We're kind of dumb. We have to be to miss that this whole time. Come on, let's just put this behind us. There's still places open. We haven't been everywhere yet. Here. Moved along from one stop towards your next, still jovial from the experience. Showing into your walk, Lee ran over to a nearby trash can and tossed her smoothie cup. Derek went after and threw his cup away. He followed suit and got ready to empty cup too. Cove made it to the trash can, but he didn't toss his cup. Hey, Jamie. Yeah? Cove held his cup up towards you and you looked at him quizzically. You can finish it if you want. It's a little melted, but it's still good. Couldn't quite meet your gaze. You were pretty sure that you could see his cheeks turning pink. Even close to embarrassment, you noticed that he left enough of a good space. There was no stopping the large smile growing on your face. He didn't forget about it. After your antics earlier, you had made peace with the fact that you weren't going to get any of his drink. You figured it was easier for him to give it away since he didn't have any plans to drink more of it now. Thanks, Cove. Took his cup and held it in both hands. The last of the smoothie was very sweet. That seemed fitting. Pretty good, huh? Very good. Threw the cup out with the rest and sighed of content. We got a sip after all. Look at that. Hey, you know what? Germs, you gotta be careful. Gotcha. The clock inched closer to 7 p.m. as you all made your way back to the directory. And it's hard to believe how fast the day went by. Where do you think your mom ended up today? We didn't see her anywhere. Oh, she's just like that. Oh, it's a mystery. Despite having vanished for the entire trip so far, when 7 p.m. hit, you spotted Kira coming right over, waving cheerily. As soon as she was close enough, she pinched Cove's cheek. Hey, baby and friends. Hi, Mom. He pushed her hand back with one hand and rubbed his cheek with the other. Did you have a good day, gang? Yeah. Today was awesome. We did so much. It was fun. You really enjoyed your day. You thought there were ways it could have been worse. You didn't enjoy the other. Yeah, enjoyed it. There was no hiding your joy. Like the others, you were smiling ear to ear because today went so much better than you expected. I'm glad we came here. I wanted to hear all about it during the ride back. She clapped her hands together once, making sure she had everyone's undivided attention. Speaking of that, we better head out. Cliff must be missing us. You've got to be starving. It's dinner time and you haven't eaten yet. Yeah. Everyone followed her lead and started walking out of the door to the parking lot. Something about what Kira said felt off to you. There are tons of places to eat. It was a mall. You could have had dinner. You wondered if it was just a good guess, but you could feel your eyebrows raise when it dawned on you. She might have been keeping an eye on you after all. Very pleased about it. She didn't have to lie. That was actually pretty slick. You weren't sure about it. It seemed kind of sketchy. I mean, whatever. It's pretty slick. Tried to give you, I guess, privacy while also keeping an eye. It's pretty cool, huh? I have a little remote thing too, and it changes.
That is very cool.
Yeah. If she hadn't made the comment, you never would have known. You found it hard not to be impressed. Not once could you recall even a glimpse of her hanging around, though now that you think about it, not seeing her ever was suspicious in and of itself. Taking off those thoughts, you caught up with the others. Keeping the same seating arrangement as earlier, you all piled in the car and started heading back to the store. The drive went by without any problems, as it was filled with chatter about the various things everyone saw around the mall. So even if you arrived at your destination, it was a much faster trip, considering this time Kira knew where she was going. Hearing the lights jingle of the bell, the front door being open, Cliff poked his head up from the back. He lit up at seeing who was here. Hey, sport. Did everyone have an adventure? Hi, Dad. We had a blast. Yes. We found the mall. The mall? Wish I could have joined. He deflated in an exaggerated way. His shoulders sloped. Kyle put a hand on his arm and smiled. There'll be other times. Are you set here? Almost. Mr. Holden sighed for real. He then pulled himself together, standing up straight. It's okay. Yes, sir. No problem, Mr. Holden. We can have fun here. Excellent. What a great group of kids. He gave an approving thumbs up and Karen nodded along. Give you a hand if you're over the ropes. Why, thank you. They walked side by side to the back room before he let out of sight. Cliff stopped and looked over his shoulder. If you leave the shop, don't go far. It's getting late. Then the parents were gone again. Let's go to the dock. They're right down the way. Yeah. Oh, I saw this on the way here and I really wanted to check it out. Are you coming, Jamie? Alright. With a smile, Cole showed the way. Showed the way? Between the warm summer air and the smell of the ocean, you couldn't ask for a better night. Thanks for letting me come. Me too. Right? I'm happy we did this. Today was great. Cove, your mom and dad are really cool. Really? Totally. Cove looked at Lee oddly. He ran a hand through his hair and then puzzled expression cracked with a grin. I guess sometimes they are. You continued walking. Every so often you would look up at the sky and see several stars poking out between the clouds. At one point you noticed that Cove stopped while Lee and Derek kept going on ahead, busily chatting. Ooh. Initially he wondered if something was wrong, and you quickly noticed that he still looked to be in good spirits. You decided to hang back with Cove. He gave you a quick acknowledging look when you stopped at his side. You could taste the sea salt as you took a deep breath of the ocean air. Silently, you and Cove watched the ocean for a little while. There was something about the waves that you always found soothing. Couldn't think of a better way to end a busy day. And then it hit you. The wind chime. That was the perfect moment. Quickly you dug the wrapped package out of your bag. Hey, Cove. He barely replied, and instead his focus was mostly on lazily watching the sea. The paper wrapping crinkled as you pushed the package forward, trying to make him realize. Finally caught sight of it, and his eyeballs raised up high. Usually Cove is up to the ground. My brother has a aggressive hand with that door. Just seeing the present brought a smile to Cove's face. He carefully opened it, and his whole body brightened as he recognized the chime. Nice! Talked about how he seemed to want it. You suggested that the chime simply made you think of him. You explained that Cove had given you gifts and you wanted to return some. You didn't know what to say now. Talked about how you seemed chime simply made you think of him. I'll go with this. Want it. You really thought you were going to buy it, but you didn't, and I couldn't resist. Cove's smile seemed to grow even bigger, and his blush deepened, and he looked sincerely happy. You're just... He wasn't even able to find the words to finish his thoughts. Then Cove started getting shy over his bashfulness and put a hand up over his mouth. You were so happy that buying the wind chime was the right call. I'll take such care of it, Jamie. Thank you. You're welcome. Let me know when you end up putting it up. It'd be helpful to know. Took your wrapped up wind chimes out of your bag and held it up, drawing a chuckle from him. Okay. We'll match that way. Yeah. Not much time later, Derek's chipper voice caught your attention. You and Cove both turned your gaze down the pier. What are you doing there, slowpokes? Get over here. Hey, come on. You looked at Cove from the same time he looked at you. You grinned and nodded your head in the direction of your friends. Gave you a small smile in return. Footsteps echoed against the wooden planks of the dock and into the night as you ran to catch up. Nice! Very nice. Okay. So that had a very sweet ending. That was super nice. So that was Maul. So I'll leave this one there, as like I said, I'm gonna keep doing just the episodes basically based on like the moments. So that was Maul. Super cute, pretty regular, but I still find them entertaining even when it's being just, you know, average stuff going on. But I loved it. I'm having so much fun. I still love this game so much. I'm gonna keep posting it. I had a little bit of a quiet period for me at my time because I was working on my book, which I finished. So although I'll probably try and mention it earlier on my channel than when I eventually get to this episode, I do have a book. If you didn't know and haven't seen it, it should be up for a while now. If you haven't seen it yet and you're just hearing about it here, it is called The Valorous. I'll leave links somewhere on my channel or on this video if I remember. It is on Wattpad under Glitter and Champagne, but it is also on my new website for the book, where you can click and get a free downloaded PDF version of it if you would like to check it out. It's not a very huge long book, it's more of a novella, but it still has chapters, it's still a decent length, and it does a mix of sort of horror and comedy and action, so it's a lot of fun. If you want to check it out, feel free to check out the website for an immediate download if you would like. And thank you so much for watching this video in particular and following me along on this little journey with Jamie and Cove.